Welcome to Desiro's Radio Podcast Edition. I'm your host, Desert. Today I'm going through part 3 of my Narcissism Disorder series. In part 2, I discussed the scapegoat child and the golden child. For part 3, I'm going to go through some recovery. I gave references to some sites that could be very helpful, especially for someone who grew up with a parent with this personality disorder. Now, once you've established that you have been a victim and are a survivor of narcissism, there are some steps to take to regain your life, and it's almost like retraining, and there are 3 steps to it. The first step is to coordinate a support group. There are various forums and sites on the internet where you can meet other people who have experienced the same things, or if you have a close friend that would be supportive, that you could talk to and let them know your discovery, let them know what you've learned about yourself, and that you're going to be going through steps with the healing. It's just to get it all out. You talk about things that happened, a vent if you have to, and get some reassurance that you're not crazy. It wasn't you. So that's the first step, is getting a support group. Now, the following step I'm taking from resources from the site Daughters of NarcissisticMothers.com. I'm going to try not to say the word so much because I'm having trouble saying it. And now you have emotional challenges and physical challenges. For the emotional challenges, they have on the list is to erase the useless hope that she'll change and become the mother you want. This is the defining moment, and this is probably, in my opinion, the hardest step, is to realize you don't have a mother. And it's almost like a grieving process, because she will never be, or the parent, the father, they will never be what you're looking for as far as, the parent who is loving and caring and will guide you and loves you unconditionally. It's not going to happen. There's always going to be conditions. There's always a string attached. It will never happen. No matter how many times you get sucked back in to think, well, maybe this time, maybe, look, she does care for me, you're going to get hurt. And so the first step is to realize that they are not going to change. This is how they are, period. There's no fixing them. There's no magic. There's nothing. This is it. So this is the first step in dealing with the emotional challenge. The following step is to erase the blocks and things that prevent you from taking care of yourself. Chances are, if you were raised with a mother with narcissism, you weren't properly cared for. You may have been cared for while you were getting ready to go somewhere in the public with her so that you won't embarrass her. But chances are she did not spend every day making sure that you showered, you brushed your teeth, taking care of yourself, period. I mean, you're going to have to be your own mother from here on out. If you have to, start making a list, but you got to take care of your hygiene, your dental care, your surroundings as your house, your diet, and kind of take care of yourself. And you have to go in it with the mindset that you are your own parent, period. You don't have a parent because you just accepted, from the previous step that you don't have one, and you just grieved. The way to kind of think of this, what would you do if you had a child? What kind of things would you do to take care of that child? You're going to do that for yourself. You're going to go wash your clothes. You're going to go do dishes. You're going to do laundry. You're going to brush your teeth. You're going to get new clothes. You're going to do all the little things that keep yourself cared for. Another step in the process is to erase any urges to harm yourself or punish yourself. Anytime that you start doing something that is successful, try not to self-sabotage yourself. This is one pattern that you most likely learned, that every time you did something good, it got slammed down, and you can never succeed at anything. You can never be totally happy. And this goes like for relationships and stuff as well. I mean, I do this all the time. I self-sabotage myself all the time. And you have to realize and convince yourself that there is no need for it. There is no need to sabotage yourself right before you do something successful or making a decision that will make you happy. A lot of people do it subconsciously, but in back of your mind, kind of what's going on. So you just got to fight that and tell yourself, no, darn it, I deserve it. I'm going to get this. Look I did great. I'm wonderful. The next step, chances are you've decided whether you're going to, there is a step, and you can look on the site, that talks about no contact or low contact. And this is the decision you make to kind of stay away and keep your visits to a minimum, because that's when the damage happens. You could be living on your own for months and months and months, but you go over there and you visit, you know what's going to happen. She's going to rag on you. She's going to tell you all these things. First, she's going to tell you how you didn't visit her, and then it just progresses from there. You can have a wonderful conversation, but eventually it's going to turn into something that you're going to go home and you're going to be crying about, and you're going to be hurt. Once you decide no contact or low contact, you have to erase the guilt of your decision. Because, of course, like in our society, you visit your parent, but you got to look at it as you're protecting yourself from an abuser, someone who is emotionally abusing you. Now, here's another thought process. You have to erase the hurt that she dropped you. What it means by that is, this is the part that affects your relationships and your fears of abandonment. You're going to realize that once you've made this decision, she will not come after you. She will not beg you to talk to her. She will not say anything of how important you are to her or how she wants to mend this relationship. She will drop you. Because you're not the narcissistic supply anymore, and so you're worthless. And this pain is so deep. This pain of how quickly somebody who has spent a lifetime with you, someone who knows you, could just turn their back as if you don't exist. And chances are you end up in relationships where people do this to you as well. I guess it's part of the grieving as well. It's still connected with, you don't have a mother. You don't have one. And it just makes it so real, especially during this time, because she won't be the one calling you. She will not, because it would have to be you to make the contact first. Try not to dwell on it, and try not to let it take you over with depression or anything to hurt or harm yourself. There are more things to erase in order to successfully make it through this process. And one is to erase your fear of her. And just tell, she has no power over you. None. They're words, but they have no power over you. Heal and get through the grieving process and let it go from your mind. Because what you don't want to do is be stuck in this sadness. What we're trying to do is move on from this and understand that it's not you. You are worthy. You're strong. You're your own authority, and you're your own parent. taking and cleaning up so much emotional baggage that is left on you, you need to start taking care of your stress. As you go through the healing process, learn to deal with stress as well, because chances are this whole experience for years, you've probably known stress every single day from this. I mean, a bad stress, not the good stress. And you may have anxiety from it as well, because you're always wondering if you're in trouble, what it is this time, or did you do good enough? And that is a lot of baggage to carry. And once you start eliminating all this baggage, you may get stressed out because there is no stress. So you need to learn to relax, journal, walk, talk to friends, do everything you can to ways to think of to try to eliminate the stress in your life. Now, to touch on physical challenges and healing, there is like some science to that they found, like fibromyalgia, depression, anxiety, many physical illnesses that are caused by stress, mental abuse, many of the symptoms that survivors have. And next is to start healing yourself physically. This means, just like everybody else, diet, exercise, watching, get blood work done, find out where you are, and start taking care of this as soon as you can. Heal from the mental stuff, because this is what's going to help you succeed in surviving in general. So these are some of the steps that could be taken to begin your healing and recovery. I suggest, looking online in the library, study up on this. My aunt always tells me when it comes to her personal illnesses or anything that's wrong with her, she owns it. And I understand what she means now. Study on it, own it. Own it and understand it as much as you can. Educating yourself on it gives you power. It empowers you and gives you just strength to overcome it. Many books that are written or articles, they come from a place of experience, and all you're doing is you're taking in everybody's advice, and then you come up with your own. So just keep remembering that you're an adult now. You're your own parent. Nobody has control of you. Nobody can tell you what you can and cannot do. And the people that abandon you, you don't need them. They are not there for you anyways. And just realize that there's nothing you can do to have that person love you or care for you the way that they should. And you should be on your way to some healing, and I hope this helped. I do. This is it's so complex that, of course, just my little 3-part podcast isn't going to cover everything, but I just did want to talk about it a little bit, and as for survivors and how it affects your mental health and your physical health. Give me some feedback. Let me know if it helped or not helped. I know I had a lot of problems saying narcissistic, but thanks for your patience. Thank you for listening to Desiro's Radio Show podcast.